Many people believed that it was impossible for blacks to be military pilots. In 1925, a report from the Army War College stated that black people weren't smart enough to be pilots and were too cowardly to be trusted to fly a plane. Under pressure to allow blacks to be part of the military, Eleanor Roosevelt was sent by President Roosevelt to Tuskegee Institute in Alabama to meet with the instructor, C. Alfred Chief Anderson. She flew with him on a successful half-hour flight. Because of that, President Roosevelt ordered the Tuskegee experiment to allow blacks to be trained as fighter pilots. Many people hoped that this experiment would fail. It did not. The 332nd Fighter Group of young and eager black cadets was formed with Colonel Benjamin O. Davis, Jr. as their leader. They were sent to North Africa to fight Nazi Germany. Later, they were sent to Italy. They had the dangerous task of protecting American bombers when they went on missions. The Tuskegee Airmen painted the tails on their fighters red to distinguish them from other fighter groups. Their skill and courage earned them the title Red Tail Angels. There are 6 principles that the Tuskegee Airmen lived by in and out of the military. Aim high. Airman Lee Andrew Archer wanted to be the best he could be. In Europe, during his combat experience, he shot down 5 enemy airplanes. He earned the title of Ace. He is the only black ace pilot in the Air Force. He was also awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross along with other awards. Whatever goals you set for yourself, do your very best. Aim high. Believe in yourself. C. Alfred Chief Anderson wanted to become a pilot, but no one would teach him because he was black. Chief borrowed $2,500 from family and friends and bought his own small airplane. He taught himself how to fly. He later earned an air transport rating, which is like getting a PhD in flying. He eventually became the head instructor at Tuskegee. You have to have self-confidence and believe in yourself to reach your goals. Use your brain. When the Tuskegee experiment was begun, the standards for admission were set very high in the hopes that no black people would qualify. But that did not happen. Only the most intelligent and dedicated people were entered into the program. The fighter pilots, mechanics, and technicians had to be smart, study hard, and apply what they learned. Even after the war, many of the airmen went further with their education and earned advanced degrees. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weak. Be ready to go. The Tuskegee Airmen had to be ready to fly at any minute. Colonel Charles E. McGee was well known for his willingness to always be ready. He fought in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. While in the Air Force, he was called upon to fly 409 missions, totaling 6,100 hours of flying. He held the U.S. Air Force record for the most combat missions ever flown. He was able to fly so many missions because he was dependable and was always prepared. Never quit. A great example of this principle is General Benjamin O. Davis, Jr. Benjamin went to the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York. The entire 4 years that he was there, no one spoke to him unless it was official business. He had no roommate and he ate alone. They probably thought that shunning him would make him give up. It did not. When he graduated, he wanted to go to flight school but was rejected because he was black. So he went to Fort Benning, Georgia, where the shunning continued. When the Tuskegee experiment began, he went there. Benjamin was chosen to lead the Tuskegee Airmen because of his ability to get through difficult times and his flying skills. Eventually, Benjamin O. Davis, Jr. became the first black general in the Air Force. Never quit. Be patient and keep striving to reach your goals. Expect to win. Daniel Chappie James grew up in a poor family in Florida, and although his circumstances were not the greatest, his parents had taught him that using his brain and working hard were the keys to success. Each time he flew a mission or engaged enemy aircraft, he knew that he was going to win. Daniel Chappie James was the first black 4-star general in the Air Force, a gifted public speaker, a veteran of 3 wars, and commander-in-chief of NORAD, North American Air Defense. If you have the will, you too can rise above your circumstances. Thank God for all the courageous Tuskegee Airmen, the men and the women, yes women, technicians and mechanics that work so hard to overcome so many obstacles to reach their goals. I believe that Philippians 4:13 was in their thoughts. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.